Yeah, they don't go for solar. And within the university system, no, I must place the union in proper pathway for people to understand.
Hello and welcome to the program. I am DEJI360 and still talking about the G7 defection. Of course, that's the talking point politically in the country now at the moment. The APC recently alleged that there are plans by the PDP to get the governors removed. That's the governors now who defected to the APC. I'm talking about the PDP governors now who defected to the APC, that there are plans to declare their seats vacant by virtue of the fact that they defected to the APC. And of course, the APC is threatening fire and brimstone, saying it is not going to accept such a plan at all, and that if the PDP tries to do such a thing, it will make sure it doesn't work. Now, it's quite surprising that the APC will be making this kind of allegation, because we've never seen this kind of thing. It's never happened politically in this country where a governor defects to another party and then the governor's seat is declared vacant. As a matter of fact, we've had situations in the past where some governors defected from their political party to the opposition political parties and their seats were never declared vacant. So it'll be surprising if the PDP is contemplating such a move. But one thing is very certain: it is possible to get these governors removed from office if the members of the State House of Assemblies who are loyal, the members of the various State House of Assemblies now who are loyal to them, if these members chose to back down from these governors, it is possible that they'll be able to muster the number required to get the governors impeached. We're still waiting to see how all of this unfolds. But do not also forget that back in 2006, when the then Vice President Atiku Abubakar defected to the Opposition Action Congress at the time, the president then, that's Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, declared his seat vacant. As a matter of fact, Atiku Abubakar was actually removed from office. That was the pronunciation of the president at the time. But do not also forget that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar went to court and the case got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, of course, overturned the decision of the president. And so Alhaji Abubakar continued as vice president of the country at the time. So we're waiting to see if we're going to witness that kind of drama again this time, if there will be some kind of declaration now, maybe by the president, or court will come out to make a pronouncement that these governors who defected to the APC now, that by virtue of their defection, they would be losing their seats. But we'll take a short break now. When we come back, I'll be speaking to a lawyer to get his reaction on this new development. Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on DEJI360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ, if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions. Welcome back, and joining me on the program right now is Mr. Onyekachi Ubani, who is the chairman of the NBA, that's the Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch. Mr. Ubani, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Now, let's face it, is it possible? I mean, look at the allegation raised by the APC. Is it possible to declare the seats of these 5 governors who have defected vacant?
Yeah, humanly, it is impossible.
Legally speaking,
also, it is also impossible because we have a constitution, and the constitution has made elaborate provision on the processes of removing a governor. You can only remove a governor through the process of an impeachment, or through death, or when he's incapacitated by ill health. Even that, you have to go through a process. There must be a medical team that will examine and say that this man is incapable, is unfit to remain as a governor. So you cannot, as a result of the fact that he has defected to another political party, remove a governor. The constitution never allows such.
But that is still not to say some people would not try to do it.
They would try if they want to, but that would be clearly illegal. The court, at the end of the day, will declare it, illegal, null and void, of no effect whatsoever.
We have seen this before, haven't we?
Yes.
In 2006, when the former vice president of this country, Atiku Abubakar, defected to the APC. President Olusegun Obasanjo then asked his political advisor to go and declare, that's Uba Ahmed, to go and declare his seat vacant.
That's right.
And eventually that was overruled by the court.
Fine, the Supreme Court had to. And so even you said it now, the Supreme Court has even made a pronouncement as to the legality or illegality of such an action. So if you do, with respect to any of the executives, either the presidency or that of the governor, of course, the court will be there to come to their rescue. It's only in National Assembly that the provision was even made under the Constitution that if they do, their seats can be declared vacant. But even at that, if they succeed in proving that there is a crisis in the political party where they are coming from, then the law allows them to defect to another political party. So even with the National Assembly members, you can, or with the State of Assembly.
Because you talked about the National Assembly, not quite long ago, we saw the majority leader of the Senate come out to say, well, that the law is pretty clear and that as far as he was concerned, there's no crisis in the PDP, there's no faction. So it just would not make sense for any member to come up with the idea of defecting.
Yeah, well, that is his own statement, and of course his statement is not a law. You know, it is the code of the law that, that we declare, whether there is a crisis in PDP. But let me tell you, we are all witnesses to what is going on in PDP. The president recently came back from Britain, and while at the airport, questions were thrown at him as to the issue of reconciliation with those people who are complaining about certain things that they consider very wrong with the PDP. And say it's an ongoing process. They are talking, and they will try as much as possible to meet in order to reconcile them into the PDP. Of course, when you use the word reconciliation, it presupposes the fact that there is a problem, there is a crisis, there is a problem. They've been having series of meetings. In fact, governance has been grounded to a halt. I granted an interview to a newspaper today when he was writing on this issue of defection, issue of political crisis within PDP, and the implication on the economy and all. And I told him that there is no more governance going on all over the states. Including with the opposition. Everyone now's attention is in Abuja. They're all meeting, having series of meetings, all plotting towards 2015. And so, if anyone is telling you there is no crisis in PDP, the person is talking a lie. He's not saying the truth. He's not only been economical with the truth.
I understand your point. Now, I want us to look at the possible scenario under which some of these governors could be impeached or removed from office, so to speak.
Yes.
And this is quite possible. Is it not possible that their opponents now may be looking at depleting the ranks of the members who are loyal to them in their various state House of Assemblies? Because as we speak today, the only reason why these governors are bold enough is basically because the majority of the members in their state Houses of Assemblies would appear to be behind them.
Yeah, so that is the issue. As I said earlier, it's only the state House of Assemblies that can remove them now. And any governor that is interested in staying in his office. Do
you think there could be some kind of intrigues going on now? People trying to infiltrate and deplete the ranks of the lawmakers. Yes, exactly.
Well, the point is a reality. And I said earlier, it's only on that platform or on that such listen you can remove a governor if you get majority that is against the governor being, and then probably allege that is a breach of the Constitution. One allegation that it gross misconduct. The Constitution didn't even define what amounts.
Do you think we might see that? Do you think we might witness that kind of situation before 2015 if these governors continue? If they choose not to go back to the PDP, because some people have said, well, that they may go back to the PDP.
They will only speculate, but I tell you that no governor is stupid enough to have probably jumped to another political party without being sure of the political structure within his state, especially within State House of Assembly members, because most of them, they owe loyalty to the governor because they are the one controlling the pot. He's the one controlling treasury. He's the one that disburses the money and all that. So this is the time also for him to ensure that the majority are still, with him. And so politically, it will be suicidal for you to have jumped to another political party without going along with the people that have the power to remove you as a governor. So it is a possibility if a governor is stupid enough to have jumped into another political party without having the structure intact and being sure that loyalty is still 100%.
I want us to look at another scenario as well. Don't you think some of these members are taking a big risk by going with these governors? Because these governors are serving out their last term of office. I mean, they're all doing their second term. They are not coming back. But some of these members definitely have they may want to come back.
That's right.
That they may be taking a very huge risk here.
Everything about life is risk. There is nothing that does not involve risk. Even thing you think is less.
And that is presupposing the party, the PDP wins election. In that
yes, that
anyway.
Exactly. So it's a risk. It may turn out to be that they will now become the controllers of the structure in that particular state. Under a new political party. It's possible. It has happened in Bauchi. Bauchi man came under MPP and he, moved over to PDP today. And
the lawmakers were.
And they all moved over with him. And today PDP is, secured in Bauchi state. So also in other states like Abia state, it was PPA that was in charge. When this man moved to Abga, all of them almost joined him. 48 hours he was in Abga. And then the following day he moved over to PDP. Today, Abia state is regarded as a PDP. So it's a risk. Those of them also joined in moving over to PDP. So the house is being controlled today in Abia State by PDP members. So there is nothing that it doesn't involve. It's a risk. So whatever you're doing in life, even going to market to go and sell okra, is a risk. It's either you succeed in gaining or you succeed in losing. So at the end, it may turn out to be to their own advantage because they will become the controllers of that structure if eventually they succeed in winning and all that.
But do you think all of this is a positive development for this country, the politics of this country?
I tell you, it's monumental. I look at PDP when they are,
No, but of course the PDP has said it's no big deal.
Yeah, I'm telling you that when they say it's no big deal, they are just joking. It has never happened in our political history where you have, 5 governors moving from one political party to another. It is monumental. It has never happened before. And to me, to so many people, it looks like a healthy development. PDP, they have been in power for over 14 years, and Nigerians have not actually enjoyed dividends of democracy. If you see a flick, something that looks like a semblance of a platform that, presents alternative choice, Nigerians may be looking towards that direction. But my only problem and my only worry is, are they changing both because of the fact that they care for the Nigerians? Or do they have their interest at heart? Okay, I'm going to a different political party because we need to change the system, we need to change the status quo for the benefit of Nigerians. So if it is for the benefit of Nigerians, are looking toward direction. So if it is not in the interest of Nigerians, I'm advising that Nigerians should actually shine their eyes, and let us begin to do the right thing and get the right people into governance in order to really change the status quo, because things are not really working in favor of the majority of Nigerians.
It's on that note we have to leave it there. Mr. Onyekachi Ubani, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you very much for your time. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll be talking to the 10-year-old Nigerian phenomenon. You want to find out who that is? Just wait. Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on DEJI360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions. Welcome back. As I told you earlier, we have Zuriel, the Wonder Kid, right here in the studio with us. I spoke to her sometime in March this year, and between then and now, something has actually happened. But first, let me introduce Zuriel Oduwole. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
It's so nice to have you here. Let's take a look at the report I did back in March when I spoke with you. We'll take a look at that report, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Zuriel. Let's have the report now.
Please welcome to the stage Zuriel Oduwole, a proud Nigerian ambassador, taking this nation to places. Please, let's keep it warm until she gets on stage.
Born of African-American parents, Zuriel is only 10 years old. But she displayed the confidence and courage of an adult as she addressed this gathering, which includes state government officials in Lagos, Nigeria, on her latest documentary.
I am of African descent and know that there are a lot of positive things out there about Africa. So I wanted to showcase some of these positive things in the brief 10-minute documentary.
The documentary is on the formation of the African Union, but this is not her first work. The first, another 10-minute piece, was on the Ghana Revolution, which she made at the age of 9, with former presidents Jerry Rawlings and John Kufuor as some of her interviewees.
I was very, very nervous for the first time because it was the first time doing it, and I didn't know how to act, how to sit. At first, I was just sitting like this. I said, no, I should do this before the person was coming. And so I was practicing my tones. I was doing la 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 la. But when I started asking the questions, everything turned out okay, and that's when I started enjoying interviewing people.
The enjoyment propelled her to do the latest documentary, which took her 7 months to produce, interviewing 3 serving presidents in the process. Other notable personalities she has interviewed include Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, and the Williams sisters. For her parents, Zuriel has been somewhat of a surprise.
How many 10-year-olds interview current presidents or heads of state, interviews former presidents, interviews the wealthiest businessman in Africa, interviews 2 of arguably the most popular in international tennis players. And you have to be out of your mind not to be surprised. Of course we were surprised, but we are most impressed by how she handles it.
I think I noticed from a young age she had a fantastic memory. She picked things up very quickly. I'm thinking probably from age 2. When we went to enroll her in a school, she was actually 2 years ahead.
Zuriel's memory is indeed fantastic. She told me she remembers everything those she interviewed said, including how they speak, given this example of the Malawian president's accent.
Let's see if I can do it. Because for me to go to Tanzania, it takes me 2 days. To go to Mozambique, it takes me 2 days because I have to go to Africa. But even to Zambia, it takes me 2 days. But all those countries, you can fly there in a private jet, only in 1 hour.
What's actually fascinating about Zuriel's story is that she does not have any formal journalism training, yet she does the job with the ease of a professional. She told me she plans to retire at the age of 19, pursue other goals.
And then off this out the way because I'm starting to write my own book. And then an athlete, maybe I'll become an athlete next so I can compete in the Olympics. I was hoping to do it this year, but after I get a lot of training.
What sports?
Track.
So tell me why her ultimate goal, she says, is to become the President of the United States of America.
Well, for one, I want to make a change in the country and across the world. Gas prices and stop terrorism in the country because there's been a lot of that going on.
It's pleasing to see that she has goals, and we will just stand by her and do the best we can to help her in the areas that she pursues to go.
Well, that's the story of Zuriel. As a matter of fact, if you've never met her before, I believe with that story you know everything about her. Zuriel, let me start by asking you. I mean, we saw in that report you said you intend to retire at the age of 19. Currently, you're a journalist. Of course, that's how you describe yourself, and I have no doubt at all that you're a journalist and that you intend to retire at the age of 19. You still plan to retire?
Well, yes, I do plan to retire so that way when I get older, I can go on and to achieve my other goals.
And then you talking about your other goals now. You talked about becoming an athlete. You still have that plan as well?
Yes, sir, I do have that plan. And actually, I plan on also playing basketball when I get older.
Oh, you want to play basketball as well? Oh,
yes,
good,
sir.
Good. I mean, that's really good. Now, let's talk about the plan. We heard it also in that report where you said you want to be the President of the United States of America. You still have that dream?
Yes, sir. I do still want to be the President of the United States of America because I do believe that I'll be able to affect both the United States and also all the other countries in the world, including Africa.
Now, tell us about your latest work, because the last time we spoke, you were working on this documentary. You done with the documentary now?
Yes, sir. I was actually able to finish it early on May of this year, I believe, and I was able to finish it for my competition called the National History Competition, which is a school competition where students from all over the U.S. would come together and present their ideas in documentary form.
Now, let's talk about your project. I know you have this project, which is very important, and you call it the Dream Up, Speak Up, Stand Up project, and you've taken this project to so many countries. What kind of reception have you been getting? You went to Tanzania not quite long ago, and of course you're doing something here in Nigeria. What kind of reception are you getting from these various countries now that you're taking the project to?
Well, everywhere I go, there's always a friendly reception. The kids there are always screaming and always cheering. And also, the last school we went to in Nigeria, they didn't want me to leave because they found it fascinating, the things that I'm doing, and they wanted me to stay longer and talk to them about it. And you think parents are changing their attitude, society across these various countries now are changing their attitude by sending the girl child to school? I'm hoping so, yes.
Interesting. Now, let's talk about something else. March, when I spoke to you, you told me you were trying to get President Goodluck Jonathan to talk to. You wanted to interview him. Between March and now, a lot has happened. You've actually exploded. Tell me how you feel, because today you Google the name Zuriel and you have a whole lot of stories on you. How does it make you feel?
Well, it's just an overwhelming experience for me because I started small, and then seeing the things that have happened since when I started when I was 9, it's just an overwhelming experience in total.
Let me just read something here about you, and this is quite surprising. Of course, you're 11-year-old now, but this talks about, it's really about when you were 10. It says, Zuriel's accomplishments include being the first 10-year-old to interview 8 incumbent heads of state. As a matter of fact, as a professional journalist myself, I have never had that privilege to interview 8 incumbent heads of state. You must be very special. Why do you think they want to talk to you?
Well, I really have no idea, but what I do is I send letters to them, and I talk about the issues in the world, and I talk about the issues such as sending the girl child to school, and also helping rebrand Africa, and I talk about those problems in the letters I send to them, and they always come back saying yes, and it's just the grace of God, and I'm just really excited about that.
Of all the interviews you've done, which one would stand out for you? Of all the heads of states you've interviewed, of course, we spoke about the president of Malawi the other time. As a matter of fact, I asked you to actually mimic her accent, and you did very well. But of all the heads of state, I mean, so many of them, which one would stand out for you?
Well, they're all unique in their own ways. Like, for example, my interview with President Jerry Rawlings of Ghana was unique and stand out the most. Well, it didn't stand out the most, but it's unique because he was the first person ever interviewed, and I was only 9 years old then. And also my interview with President Cape Verde, that was unique as well because we actually have to have an interpreter there because the president spoke his country's language of Portuguese. So I can't pick one over the other because they're all unique in their own ways.
And of course, how is your Mandarin like now? Is it improved tremendously?
Well, it has improved, I'd say so. I've learned more words. I'm also learning how to write characters.
So as a matter of fact, if we take you to China now, you'd be able to communicate with the people that interact with them in fluent Mandarin?
A bit more, yes, sir.
Oh, tell me now. I mean, we're rounding up. What's in the pipeline for Zuriel? What are your plans? You have projects coming up apart from this project. Do you have plans for some other projects? What is Zuriel looking at doing, say, in the next 1 to 2 years?
Well, I'm going to be focusing on my agendas, which is to rebrand Africa by interviewing African leaders and showing the rest of the world that there's something special about Africa. And I'm also doing my best to make sure that everyone in Africa gets a chance to have an education.
And of course, not forgetting your dream of becoming the President of the United States of America.
Course, sir.
Well, we can only wish you the best of luck. And, when you become President, remember us when you become the President of the United States of America. And we wish you all the best of luck. And who knows, tomorrow we might see you on one of these big networks. And some people have described you as... some say you're the Oprah Winfrey of Nigeria. Some have described you as the Oprah Winfrey of the child Oprah Winfrey. Some have described you as Larry King, the next Larry King in the making. You have any plans at all to work for any of the major networks, say CNN and all of that, or you just intend to continue the way you are?
Well, I don't know yet. We'll see what lies in the future.
But you're retiring at the age of 19?
Yes, sir.
That is certain?
Yes.
Quite surprising. Well, thank you very much, Zuriel, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you so very much. Well, that's Zuriel. She intends to retire at the age of 19. Of course, well, if you ask me, I would say 19 is still a very young age to retire, but then she has other plans. For someone who plans to become an athlete, play basketball, Zuriel wants to do so many things. That's it on the program today. We thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week. I am DEJI360. See you then.